Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News with some latest events in the province. And now coming to details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of July 1st, the Bronze People Committee had the regular meeting in July. Chairman of the Bronze People Committee Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc and Vice Chairman of the Bronze People Committee, including Mr. Võ Đức Trong, Mr. Duy Nhân Thắng, and Mr. Trần Giang Chiến, co-chaired the conference. At the conference, there was many contents submitted by department and branches to collect opinions of members of the Bronze People Committee studies, adjusting the detailed planning of the construction area of the TayNinhTV International Border Gate. Investment policy on renovation and embellishment project for a number of work items belonging to the Special National Relief Area of the Central Office for the South Vietnam. Investment policy on the project of the Center for Sport, Training and Competition in the second phase. Investment policy on technical infrastructure project of resettlement area in Trang Tàu. Adjustment of investment policy in TayNinhTV International Border Gate construction project. Regulation on support level for the implementation of project on livelihood, diversification, poverty reduction model development, and agricultural reduction development in the province under the National Target Program on Sustainable Poverty Reduction in the period of 2023-2025. Tuition rate regulation for public educational institutions in the province from the academic year of 2023-2024 to the academic year of 2025-2026. Resolution on policy to attack and support high-quality human resources, including civil servants, government employees, and healthcare workers. The resolution specified the amount of money to be spent on organizing compensation, support, resettlement, courtesy enumeration and enforcement of land recovery when a state recovers land in the province, improving the buffer zones rule between the international border gate Mobile and Bavet, and expanding the office in Hamlet 2, Travon Commune, to be district. Also at the regular meeting of the Bronze People Committee on July 1st, the Department of Construction submitted for approval to the Standing Committee and members of the Bronze People Committee the adjustment of the detailed planning of the TayNinhTV International Border Gate construction area.
It will adjust and change the planning of some work items, adjust the boundary scale and area of land plots, specifically relocating the construction site to ensure symmetry with Cambodia's national gates. Repositioning the gate's main access center, change the direction of the gate's main access to strength. Separate the two years, align the two sides of the main access, and include the function of an isolation area for medical quarantine and treatment, areas for animal isolation and handling animal products. Priority investment items in terms of investment phase. Phase 1 will invest in the construction of work items with the state budgets from 2023 to 2025, including national gates, complex checkpoints, squares, and ceremonial years, border gate checkpoints, main road of the border gates, and technical infrastructure system, including electricity, water, and trace. From 2026 to 2030, Phase 2 will invest in the remaining items construction. The Provincial Peace Committee agreed with the content of the Department of Construction report, while also directing the planning to be adjusted to be appropriate and closely follow the detailed planning for effective implementation.
At the meeting, the Department of Labor, Environment and Social Affairs also presented a resolution governing the level of support for the implementation of projects on livelihood diversification, poverty reduction, and agricultural reduction development in the province under the National Target Program on Sustainable Poverty Reduction in the period of 2023-2025. As a result, the province will carry out the project to support the development of linked production along the value chains. The maximum level of support from the state budgets will be no more than 50% of the total cost and no more than 2 billion Vietnam dong for project or association plan implementation. Regarding project to support the development of community production, the maximum level of support from the state budget is not more than 60% of the total cost and not more than 360 million Vietnam dong for the implementation of a project. Is for the level of support for materials, equipment for production, service provision, plant variety, and livestock for each project participant. The implementation support poor and minority households. Poor households whose members are people with meritorious service to the revolution and women from poor households with the maximum support level of 25 million Vietnam dong per household. The remaining poor and near poor households have the maximum support level of 23 million Vietnam dong per household. Household just getting out of poverty, the maximum support level is 21 million Vietnam dong per household. Person with the disability without stable livelihood, the maximum support level is 21 million Vietnam dong per person. Workers from poor households, near poor households, and households that have recently escaped from poverty are among the policy beneficiaries. As are people with disability who do not have a stable source of income. Enterprise, cooperative groups, household groups, communities, organizations, and individuals associated with them. It was unanimously approved by the Standing Committee and members of the Roles of People Committee to be submitted to the A session. The 10 Roles of People Council term of 2021-2026. Turn to other news. On June 30, at Samad International Border Gate Intermediate District, the TayNinhTV Steering Committee 515 welcomed two teams, K30 and K31, who had completed their tasks in Cambodia and were returning home.
From February 20 to June 30, 2023, two teams of K70 and K71 searched for and gathered the remains of Vietnamese volunteer soldiers and experts who died during the Cambodian War in 5 provinces, including Thabong Khmer, Kampong Cham, Siem Reap, Phan Minh Truy, and Otta Minh Truy, Kingdom of Cambodia. As a result, two teams searched for and collected the remains of 86 martyrs. Colonel Do Thanh Việt, Deputy Political Commissioner of the Provincial Military Command, raised the officers and soldiers of the K70 and K71 teams and thanked the guard and guiding forces of the neighboring country for assisting and creating favorable conditions for two working teams while performing their tasks.
Following the completion of the first step of the cultural and historical journeys in 2023, organized by Hoa Thanh Thao in collaboration with TayNinhTV Radio and Television Station and Hoa Binh Minh TayNinhTV Company Limited, in the morning of July 1st, the union members visited and learned about the 3 locations in the Trung Tây Commune, Hoa Thanh Thao. The delegation first stop on the second leg of the journeys was to visit and learn about the bronze level cultural and historical relics of Trung Tây Communal House, which has been known to be built for more than 150 years. The delegation members learned about the formation and history of the gold imperial worship here. The delegation then proceeded to the Khmer House of Culture, where members were introduced to the national untouchable heritage of Chayam's room dance. On the occasion, youth union members had the opportunity to see performance areas and communicate with one another and ask questions about Chayam's room dance. The delegation's final destination was Gia Hương facility, where they learned about the profession of making incense. When the members of the delegation were introduced by establishment owner Gia Hương and led the group to the incense production process, it was a very interesting experience. The delegation representative distributed thank you letter and gift at each stop. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of May 2023, the Department of Health has completed 2 bidding packets to buy concentrated drugs to supply to medical facilities in the province in the period of 2022-2024, with a total value of 182 billion Vietnam dong. With this result, the current shortage of drugs in medical facility has basically been overcome.
From the end of 2020 until recently, many people reflected that going to medical examination and treatment with a health insurance card could not buy drugs in the hospital. Patients had to go to outside pharmacies to buy. This made some people angry, stop participating in health insurance, and fighting efforts to cover the entire population. In the second half of 2022 to early 2023, the situation is gradually being removed and improved. The Provincial Appeals Committee assigned the Department of Health to bid for 2 packages of concentrated drug supply for medical facilities in the province in the period of 2022-2024. We opened the bid on November 30, 2022, and by May 29, 2023, the bidding packages have been completed. The Department of Health tendered 1,042 lists of drugs with 185 bidders submitting dossiers. During the review process, there were 166 successful bidders. Winning rate is 853 out of 1,042 lists of drugs, with a winning amount of 882 billion Vietnam dong. The Department of Health has strongly directed and urged the units to carry out the plan to purchase drugs for medical examination and treatment. The results of 2 concentrated bidding packages of the Department of Health have almost solved the problem of drug shortage at the grassroots level with the current scale of medical examination and treatment of district health centers. From the end of May to the present, medical examinations and treatment of TayNinhTV Provincial General Hospital have also been much more convenient. Drugs have been used to treat uncommon diseases. However, given the provincial scale of medical examination and treatment, the Provincial General Hospital still lacks a number of therapeutic drugs. Although there were results from 2 bidding packages, Provincial General Hospital won 75 out of 121 categories of drugs with package number 1 and 382 out of 669 lists of drugs with package number 2. Because the bidding must adhere to the provisions of the bidding law, we cannot guarantee that we will reach 100%. However, over 80% have solved the fundamental problems and common diseases, effectively solving all problems. The health sector stated that it will continue to take measures to alleviate drug shortage and increase the supply rate of drugs on the health insurance list in 2023 and subsequent years.
The audience monkey attack people, disrupt people's homes, and make tourists feel unsafe whenever they visit the TayNinhTV Holy area, because it's not possible to relocate all of the monkeys in the Holy inner area for release into the natural forest. The Provincial Forest Ranger must resort to temporary measures such as anesthetic shooting, capturing and imprisoning aggressive monkey to ensure the safety of visitors. In the inner area of Kadai Holy in TayNinhTV, there are more than 250 monkeys, including 4 serious monkeys, such as big-tail and long-tail monkeys. There are also individuals in group 2B, having high value in terms of conserving biodiversity genetic resources according to the read number 06 dated January 22, 2019 of the government. Rare animals are protected, maintained, but also must ensure the safety of people and tourists everywhere when visiting here. In my opinion, if the monkeys are aggressive, we should take them to the forest. It will be dangerous to attack children here. There are many people here, including children, who are afraid that we will attack. TayNinhTV Holy is a destination for tourists. In addition to admiring the Holy architecture and expressing religious belief, visitors also have the need to see monkeys in the inner area. However, how to both meet the needs of visitors and ensure safety in concerns by the travel service units. There are very aggressive monkeys who frequently snatching from tourists and entering tourists when visiting the Holy So we hope that with our unit, the competent authority will always pay attention. Also received many reports from people about monkey roaming out of residential area to cross the border, affecting daily life of the people. Europol received information from the people and local authorities. The mobile ranger team also monitor and use anesthetic shooting gun to capture their raised monkey. With the problem of arresting monkey, getting out of their breeding grounds in the Cao Holisi inner area, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has also proposed to the Warsaw People Committee a policy of moving the monkeys here and releasing them into the national forest. The immediate solution is to shoot anesthetic or set trap for large, arresting monkeys that regularly attack people, transport them to the Forest Protection Department, and then release back into the natural forest. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for watching and see you next time.